All right, so let's let's start by saying what we're trying to do here is create the first part, the dice rolling part of the can't stop game. Now in can't stop, you're rolling 4 dice, four, and you're going to be able to pick one of the 3 possible combinations of combining 2 of those dice. It's like, again, if you roll 4 dice, A, B, C, and D, then you can pick to either choose A plus B or and C plus D, or A plus C and B plus D, or A plus D and B plus C, right? Um, so one way of thinking about that is with my 4 dice over here, we're going to roll all 4 of these, and we're going to pick either, the sum of these, the top 2 and the bottom 2, or the sum of the left 2 and the right 2, or the sum of the diagonals. And what I've got here is a little calculator that's going to help us do that. Now, when you click on the little scratch cat, it's going to roll those dice, and then these helpful little fruit up here are going to give us the sum of those numbers. They're going to say them, and if we click on them, one of them, then our choice variables right here will change. We will use those choice variables later on in this continuing project. So let's go ahead and just click the cat, and we can see that the apple here is the top 4 plus 10, which is 4 plus 6, so that's 10. The watermelon is the left plus the right, well, the left 2 and the right 2, and the bananas are the middle, or the diagonal, and the diagonal. Isn't that interesting? And let's say we wanted to choose our watermelon. If we click on watermelon, we now have choice 1 and choice 2, 5 and 9. All right. Again, this will be helpful for the bigger project of creating Can't Stop the board game. This is the dice portion of it. Now, we've already programmed dice, so we really shouldn't need to, really all that we're doing now is using those dice and then kind of making these sprites up here kind of do some math for us, and we're going to walk through. So here's the code for the cat. When the sprite is clicked, we're rolling it. Let's make that nice and big so we can see it. Oh, nice and big. When the sprite is clicked, we broadcast roll. Okay, and here's the code for the dice. And this is just I've called this one dice A. We're going to check the costumes as well. So here's the costumes. As you can see, there are 6 costumes, and they're named, dice underscore 3 underscore 5, but they're also just values 1 through 6. So when we pick a random number here, when we receive roll, we set the value of A to a random number between 1 and 6 inclusive. And then we repeat this 10 times to make it get that cool rolly effect, right? We need we need to pick the actual ending value first. Well, we could also do this afterwards. We could also do it here. But anyway, this seemed like a fun thing. We're going to pick the value. We're going to repeat it 10 times. We're going to switch it to the value that we picked up here. And then we're broadcasting say options. None of the other codes for the dice are actually going to do the say option thing. We only need to do that once. And this was a timing error. I noticed that when I was, well, I'll talk about it. No, I'll talk about it now. I noticed that when previously I was having the cat just roll, and the apple was, when I receiving roll, it was saying the values, but it was saying the previous roll's values because I think that was happening too quickly, and the roll was taking some time to do. And so this kind of allows it to take some time and to do the randomness in here, and then it's saying the options. And again, it's basically the same code for all 4 of the dice, except that the variable value A and value A are changed to value B, value C, and value D. And then also that our first dice, dice A, is broadcasting say options. We don't need to have that for all of the dice. We just need to have it happen once. And it's once the say option is received. Let me zoom in on that. Our happy little apple sprite here is actually using the say command, And then it's using a couple of nested join commands. That's down here in the operator section. So we're join, and what join does is it allows us to add sort of like words together, right? So we can say this, and then we can also say that. So here we're saying join, and then we're getting the value A plus the value B, which is up here, the blank plus blank. So value A plus value B, which over here would be 5 plus 6, happens to be 11, and so it's saying 11. And then it's doing another join, and we're adding a comma, and then we're doing more math, value C plus value D, which happens to be 5 plus 4, and 5 plus 4 is 9. So it's saying 11, comma, 9. Yay! And we also have right here, when this right is clicked, we're converting those values that we got from here, A and B, C and D, C and D. We're converting those two values to a new variable called choice1 and choice2. We will use choice1 and choice2 later on in this can't stop project. The other fruit have similar code, except that there's a change here in the order of our addition. So this is A plus D and C plus B. And then down here again, A plus D and C plus B. And the bananas are doing a similar thing, just changing the order of our addition here. So we have A plus C and B plus D. And again, A plus C and B plus D. It's very important that this value and this value, that first section here, match, and this section here match. Otherwise, our choices will be a little weird. So let's run this a couple of times. Again, we click the cat, our dice change, apparently all fours. Yahtzee! And then we can choose one of our options. And once we choose an option, it is then put into choice 1 and 2. We can click the cat. We have new options, 8, which is 3 plus 5, and 6, which is 5 plus 1. We have 8 and 6, which is 3 plus 5, and 5 plus 1. And we also have 4 and 10, which is 3 plus 1 is 4, and 5 plus 5 is 10. I want to choose 4 and 10, so I'll click the banana, and then I have choice 1 as 4 and choice 2 as 10. That is your goal. Have fun!